This is the Filter Time eSpark iRacing Series, hydrated by Be Water.
What's going on, guys? Hey, how are you? Repeat back with you on another Wednesday night, and yeah, it's time to get these Filter Time Xfinity Series eSpark hydrated by Be Water, and I'm all over the place. Let's try that again. It's the Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series hydrated by our buddies at Be Water. First car we see up there right now is going to be Toll Owen, and there he is up on the banks already trying to get this done. I'm gonna be by myself. Unfortunately, the young Byron Jones is gonna be unable to join me. He will be missed, I can promise you that. But more than that, he's actually going to go ahead and miss a fantastic race. The young man had something happen in his life today, and I completely understand why he's not here. But again, he will be missed. Right now, we're watching this 09 of Toll Owen, one of the first to go on out. As you see, so far, nobody up with a time on the scoring pylon. Homestead Miami Speedway, the first race in round one of their playoffs. We got 3 races this round. Got 3 races next round before we head to Phoenix. If anybody out there has a pick on who they think is going to be able to get it done tonight, put it on out there in chat. And yes, this is back to being broadcast on both Twitch and YouTube. So, please feel free to leave a message. I will see them all. As so far, it looks like the 10 of Brittle. I'll go ahead and try to catch up with him. He was the first to go ahead to get to the top of the pylon, followed by very, very closely by the 11 of Kerr. There you see him up on that wall going down the backstretch. And then Elliot Henderson in that 37. Looks like he's jumped to the top of the board. So good job by Elliot as he brings that Camaro down to down speed. That way you can go ahead and get it slowed up, woed up, bring it on back to the shop. Now it's going to be the number 8 car for Tom Flitcroft, old Tom Flitty. Looks like he is up to speed, going down the backstretch, now going up high, wide, and handsome in turns 3 and 4. And he's actually, looks like he's holding a pretty steady wheel. And look at that, within like a foot of the wall. Not too shabby. And that is the way that you'll carry max speed around Homestead. Hear him get back on the throttle as quick as he possibly can and carrying a whole lot of speed off. Gonna try to dive on down, get to about center of the track, trying to stay just above that seam, let it wash up a little bit, holding a very, very steady wheel. This should be one hell of a lap for the 8. Yeah, look at that, top of the board for Tom Flitcroft. Congratulations, old buddy. And then we got the 41 of Justin Mons just behind him. He's already taken his time. How about old Cody Kalinka here in this number 9 route? I'm sorry, yep, it's going to be the number 9 Wrangler machine. Old Dale Earnhardt throwback. Looking pretty stout there. Looks like he is looks like he's just about done with his time. How about Brendan Book in this number 5 target machine? You see the aqua blue rims, aqua blue numbers, aqua blue target symbol on the hood. You can hear him loud on the throttle as well. Looks like he's all said and done. How about the number 17 Raise Energy Camaro for the one and only points leader, James Holtzer? Hard on the throttle coming off the corner as well, letting it wash up towards that outside wall, going down the backstretch. White Walker, Swats, what's up, buddy? I see you out there. I was actually going to reach out to you earlier to see if you wanted to fill in for Byron, but it was kind of late. Hope all is well. So Holtzer beats the time for Tom Flitcroft by 6/100ths of a second, and that looks like that's going to go ahead and wrap up qualifying. Looks like we're only going to have what, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, looks like we're only going to have about 16 cars out here on track tonight. So it's gonna be a somewhat interesting race. I'm sure these guys are going to get spread out a bit, and it'll be racy no matter what. Let's see if I can get some info here on the points right quick. All right, so yeah, right now Holtzer leads the points with 355. And then Brendan Book right behind him at 323. So just a mere 32 points separating P1 from P2. And then Jordan Bain back there in P number 3 right now with 299, 24 points off of Book. So Jordan Bain still has a fighting chance, but I don't believe I saw him actually in the field tonight. So if he's going to miss, he will fall further behind, unfortunately. But Jordan, if you happen to watch this broadcast a little bit back later on, buddy, you still have a chance. This is the first race, round number 1 of the playoffs. Elliot Henderson, P4, Maxwell Castro, P5, John Honeycutt, P6, Dohar, P7, Jordan McGraw in P number 8, Jose Ruiz in 9th, and the guy that'll be starting on outside pole tonight, Tom Flitcroft, start in P number 10 as far as points go. More than 100 points behind Holtzer. But that is not by any means indicative of the season that Tom Flitcroft has had. He's had some very, very strong runs, just got caught up in a lot of issues as well. So I definitely feel for Flitcroft and Jose and a few of these other guys. They do all they can every single week to go ahead and get this going. Just, sometimes circumstances out of their control dictate what they can or cannot do. All right, just a second. We're going to go ahead and bring up your starting grid. Looks like they've got about 2 minutes left in their warm-up. This is the time where your admins are going over the rules, the regulations, any kind of issues that they may have observed in practice. I know that they brought the race back from nighttime today. For a couple of different reasons, and I think one of them was actually grip, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it'll be a great race overall. Absolutely looking forward to it, and these guys put on a show every single time they get to the track. So out there in chat, who do y'all have for tonight? Do you have the man that's dominated the season so far with 7 wins? Do you have the Rays Camaro number 17 for James Holtzer, or do you have maybe the 5? Who do y'all have out there in chat to go ahead and knock this one out of the park? SS Motorsports, thank you very much for the sub, buddy. Absolutely appreciate it. Let's go ahead and bring up your starting grid. So again, it's going to be James Holtzer P1, Tom Flitcroft in P number 2. Then it's going to be Cody Kalinka in that number 9 Wrangler machine P3, Justin Mons in that 41 P4, Brendan Book in the 5 P5, P6 is going to be Elliot Henderson in the 37, Jacob Kerr in that number 11 sitting P7. P8 is going to be Jose Ruiz. P9, Hunter Brittle in that number 10. John Honeycutt in that new scheme on his number 50, sitting P number 10. Toll Owen in that 09. It's going to be starting P11. P12 is going to be Sean Blanchard. P13, Michael Allard. P14, Tyler Dohar. P15 is going to be Jordan McGraw, and Maxwell Castro in that number 27. He is going to round out the field starting P number 16 we're going to go ahead and get back up here with these guys and bring back everything else. We are setting up for one hell of a race. Glad that y'all are all here. It's going to be one hell of a phenomenal time. Big thank you to the swag.biz for their alternate sponsorship for this Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series, hydrated by our buddies at Be-Water. They've been there all season long and continue to ride on board, just like all these guys riding right behind this pace car, getting ready to set off race 1, round 1 of this playoff series. They got 3 races, and then it's going to be round 2, and then they're going to wrap it all up or culminate the season at Phoenix, I believe, with a 160 lapper. It's going to be a very, very interesting 7 weeks to go. You see that pace car go ahead and pull off. James Holtzer is going to get ready to jump on that loud pedal. There he goes, 41 giving the 8 a big old shove, trying to get him up to speed. It looks like the 8 might have been a little slow on it, but able to stay somewhat there. And a lot of these guys are going to have to be extra careful on these brand new tires. They are very, very slick. Getting up to speed and coming through the field. Looking right now at the 17 of James Holtzer. We'll go ahead and show a little bit of information about all of these drivers. Going through the field again, James Holtzer, Cody Kalinka, Tom Flitcroft in that 8, Brendan Book in the 5, Jacob Kerr in the 11. You see some issues behind so far. Yep, there's that caution. Looks like Elliot Henderson, Justin Mons, Hunter Brittle, and Toll Owen may have got wrapped up in that. So we'll save a little bit of that for in the very near future. Let's go back to Elliot Henderson, find out what happened. Just looks like the 37 might have been to the outside. Let's actually go back and rewind that one more time and play this back for us. Looks like it might have also had something to do with the 5 of Brendan Book on the bottom. All right, let's go ahead and stop this. We're going to go ahead and switch up the camera, and we'll go ahead and play it from here. So you see the 5 all the way on the bottom. You see the 37 getting a better run from the center off. 41 went on down, did not see that the 5 was there, and the 37 was just the unlucky one when the 5 came back up track. Nowhere to go whatsoever, and that's going to take out, as I mentioned, the 09, the 41, the 10, and it looks like the 23 of Jose Ruiz got wrapped up in a little bit of that as well. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. Shad, definitely appreciate that sub, sir. And speaking of which, I want to give a bit of a shout out as soon as I can move this down to MLAJ17 as well as Killshot for following while we were offline. Definitely appreciate it, guys. So it looks like some people choosing to take advantage of this caution, come on down and top off. Let's go ahead and change this up again. Get you back to your traditional settings. There we go. So it looks like Cody Kalinka up here in this Wrangler 9. He's actually going to be the benefactor of all this. He's going to go ahead. He stayed out, and he's going to go ahead and inherit the lead. Let's actually show that information for Cody. getting all back double file. So it's going to be the 9 for Cody Kalinka, the 8 for Tom Flitcroft, Sean Blanchard in that number 91 swag.biz Camaro, looking pretty stout. I tell you, it's kind of pretty cool, seeing the Carolina Panthers. I'm not sure, he's actually from Lima, Ohio, but God, it's just something about that color scheme, that teal blue and the black that just absolutely pops. As you can see, the lights on the pace car are off, so we're going to go ahead and get ready to go back green. First one on the pedal this time is going to be your control car, that Wrangler number 9. The 8 car to his outside with Holtzer behind him, and then Sean Blanchard on the bottom with the 11 of Jacob Kerr, and then Elliot Henderson up there in that 39. We are back green. Cody Kalinka hard on the throttle and able to get a little bit of a gap back to the 8. And again, we are going to have to watch these guys. They've got a lap or so on them, maybe 2 laps before that caution came out. So the tires are still fairly new. They're still really going to have to watch what they're doing and how hard they're getting into and off of the corner. See the 9 with the 11 now looking underneath. See, that's this early in the race, that's a pretty risky move by the 11 to go ahead and try to turn into the corner like that, try to get on by the 91, but he was able to make it hold. Good job by him. Good battle here, 10 outside, 11 to the inside. All this happening now about a second and a half already behind this 17 of Holtzer, able to get on by the 9 of Kalinka. Elliot Henderson there into 37, giving that 9, thought about maybe giving that 9 a little bit of a shove, but also, again, maybe just a tad bit too early. Let's keep on looking through the field for some more battles. There you see the 8 of Tom Flitcroft. He's basically right now just staying in the draft for the guys up front. The 11, 10, and 61. That's going to be the 61 of Micah Allard. He's following Highline and Handsome up High Wide and Handsome, Highline and Handsome, whatever you want to say. The old Kyle Larson line up top, going to be able to carry on with the 10. Everybody past the 11 right now of Kerr. Maxwell Castro, the guy that started tail end Charlie, up 7 spots right now, sitting in P number 6. He's going to go ahead and be able to get by the 11. 11 may just be saving his tires, saving what he's got. With the 5 of Brendan Book, we saw him get involved with that issue. There's the 50 of John Honeycutt back here with Justin Mons in this number 41. McConey's Setup Shop, Gamer Advantage, Chevy Camaro. Tyler Dohar back here in this filter time. Number 77 Camaro. This is this paint scheme actually has a bit of history for Tyler. This paint scheme was created by Jaden Gibble. This is the car that Tyler Dohar was hired to drive during Pro League Season 1 back in his console days. And you want to watch a guy really play the strategy out, whether it's on console or here on iRacing. That is Tyler. And he is sitting inside the top 10 in points. So he still has a mathematical chance of getting up there to try to compete for at least a podium finish when it's all said and done at the end of the year. And behind Tyler Dohar is going to be Jordan McGraw, old J-Mac. J-Mac is actually going to be hosting a new series on Thursday nights with the Shake and Bake IndyCar Series. the one and only Frozen Toes will actually have that series on her channel, and yours truly will be in the booth to call every single one of those races on Thursday nights with her. So glad to do that, and they've thrown in a mix. It's going to be your oval races plus a whole slew of road courses as well. It mostly alternates, but there's a couple back-to-back road course races. But you've got some very fast and also a couple very traditional races for the Indy Series as well. Behind Jordan McGraw is going to be the 23 DuPont machine for Jose Ruiz, and then way in the back going to be Toll Owen. I'm going to guess that he had to go ahead and wrap it up. Very, very unfortunate for that 09. We'll go ahead and catch back up with our leaders, as it looks like something might have happened with James Holtzer. See if we can find out what happened there. Let's take a look. You see the 17 coming on up and passing the 9. I believe that's when we were talking about him. You see the 9 fighting back hard on the outside. He was able to stay in the lead. Did he get into some trouble up here? I mean, right now he's sitting P3. I'm just kind of curious how Elliot Henderson and Cody Kalinka were able to get on by the 17 Rays Camaro. Unless he had to back it off and save a little bit. So far, it looks pretty clean. Getting down to that bottom line. Looks like he might be a little loose right here. Is he going to have to chase it up? Not so much. So coming across the start stripe. And now he's got the 9 and the 37 side by side with him. Still in the lead all the way on that bottom white line. No real issue. 37 and the 9 trying to dig up high. There's maybe a little bit of teamwork between the 37 and the 9 to get on by that 17. Yeah, he seems to see you see that 37 really able to get on the throttle and pull right back to the back end of this 17. I think right here they're going to go ahead and throw up that challenge. They're going to try to get on by on the high side. Yep, 37. He really looks like he is rolling that center a whole lot better than the 17. Carried a whole lot more momentum off the corner, and that's what got them close. And then getting into the next set of turns. Yeah, you see that 37 fighting hard again. But I'm going to guess eventually this paid off. And the 37 and the 9 were able to get on by. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. But yeah, 37 of Elliot Henderson in the lead right now. Cody Kalinka sitting P number 2 in that 9 Wrangler machine. 17 of James Holtzer, P number 3. Tom Flitcroft P4 with the 10 of Hunter Brittle. Very, very close in tow. Everybody very spread out. We'll continue to go through the field. Let's go ahead and actually widen this out just a little bit. Jacob Kerr in this number 11 with Brendan Book hot on his tail. Michael Allard with the 50 of John Honeycutt right up his trumpet. 61, he's going to go ahead and throw it wide. The 50 down low. So these guys are going to battle for position coming off the corner. Great job by the 50 of Honeycutt to go ahead and keep it down. But that 61 had the momentum up on that high side. Now the 41 of Justin Mons. He's going to go ahead and try a little pressure to the back end of this 50. There's the 27 of Maxwell Castro, also right there in tow. But I tell you what, Michael Allard in the 50, they cannot decide between them who wants to go ahead and lead coming off the corner. 50 trying to get on that throttle as hard as he can, but the 60 carrying all that momentum off the high side, able to keep the 50 at bay. The 41 basically just watching this right along with the 27 and the 77, just waiting to see who is going to prevail to go ahead and grab that spot. There it looks like the 50 with the slide job, able to pull that power move and get in front of the 61. Now they've been able to make a decision. Now the 50's got to decide how he's going to go ahead and try to get on by the 11 of Jacob Kerr. And now you see the 41. He saw how the 50 got on by the 61. He's going to try the same thing. He saw the 61 was able to be passed on that inside. He has not protected the bottom line. 50 was able to get on by, slide on up in front of that Fox machine. 27 and the 77 of Tyler Dohar all going to try the same thing as you see the 41 get to the inside. 27 of Maxwell Castro might be thinking about throwing that 3 wide. There you see him trying to get into that middle groove. Again, 41 also able to slide on up in front of that 61. Now the 27 of Maxwell Castro underneath the 61. 41's going to try his luck with the 11 of Jacob Kerr. You see him really rolling that bottom very, very well. The 27 staying close in tow. There's the 77 of Tyler Dohar and Jordan McGraw back here as well. The only ones not in this pack is going to be Jose Ruiz and Sean Blanchard just a little bit further back. The 23 of Jose looks pretty stable on that bottom line, no real issues. But Sean Blanchard back here, I don't see any issues on his car. Let's kind of take a quick look around. Wonder if maybe he's got some damage on his right side that I haven't seen yet. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right front. Nope, nothing there. As you see that beautiful Be Water logo on the front right quarter panel. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right rear. No, nothing back there either. Just the swag.biz. Again, that is the Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series alternate sponsor, aside from our buddies over at Be Water and Green Concepts. Let's move on up with the 77 of Tyler Dohar. You see that Filter Time logo going over the back corner panel. Again, with the swag.biz. Tyler Dohar now cracking that top 10, able to move up. It looks like so far about 4 spots from where he qualified. Elliot Henderson still leading. Cody Kalinka still sitting P2. James Holtzer in P3. Hunter Brittle up 5 spots in P number 5. He is tied right now for second most positions made up. Right now, it looks like the 27 of Maxwell Castro. He's got that honor sewed up, being 7 spots ahead of where he qualified. '41 of Justin Mons in this McConey setup shops. Gamer Advantage Camaro sitting right ahead of the 27. 41 back a couple spots after an early issue between himself, the 37, the 5, the 23, and 1 or 2 others. But it looks like he's kind of recovered so far nicely. But with the amount of cars out here tonight, he's going to be hard pressed to really be able to use the rest of the field to his advantage to try to get a push or get a pull. Let's go ahead and switch this up again and see. Let's take a look where it looks like we're working lap 28 of 110, so under 100 laps left in this race. Again, this is race 1, round 1 of the Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series playoffs. When I was looking at the points earlier, James Holtzer has just a mere 23 points over the 5 of Brendan Book. Right now you see Brendan Book sitting up here in P number 6, and he's only, what, 4 spots behind James Holtzer, as it looks like Holtzer has been able to move on up to second, disposing of the 9 of Cody Kalinka and the 10 of Hunter Brittle, just a couple spots back. And as you look at Elliot Henderson up here in this 37, let's go ahead and get a look back from him and see what he's seeing in his rear view, if we can. Nope, other one. Nope, not going to have that. Let's widen this out. Nobody in his immediate view. How about this? How about we go back to the 17? There he is, and let's look forward from him. So yeah, that's the gap that the 17 of Holtzer is seeing right now, as he just came across the start stripe, and you hear him. That man is coasting like crazy. Let's see. We'll actually stay on board with this raised machine, and see if he's doing the same thing as he goes into 3. Absolutely shutting that machine off as he comes off of 4. Let's check him again going into 1, this time from the cockpit view. Those RPMs are dropping all the way down. So now let's actually switch this up to Elliot Henderson and see if he's caught on, see if he's doing the same thing. He's now going into the corner. Nope, looks like you can see the RPM still staying up between 6 and 7 grand for this 37 of Elliot Henderson, coming off of turn number 4, coming across the start stripe to start lap 33. So Elliot, he may not 100% be aware of what James Holtzer's doing. What about the 10 of Hunter Brittle? Nope, he's not clutching it either. So looks like the 17 of Holtzer is in it for the long run. What about a guy that's kind of notorious for trying this strategy as well? What about Tyler Dohar? Yep, you see his RPMs dropping all the way back as well. And there you see right in front of him the 50 of John Honeycutt. He's coming off 4, right behind the 9 of Cody Kalinka. Let's check to see if he's clutching it. These guys playing strategy already this early. No, he's staying up a little bit lower in the RPMs than the 37 was, but he is not clutching it. He's not killing the motor the same way that the 17 and the 77 are. All right, let's go ahead and back out of that. But it's interesting to be able to see what these guys are doing. 16 cars out here on track tonight. Again, starting race 1, round 1 of the playoffs. And everybody out here trying to do everything they can. They know that they got to get up there to try to challenge Holtzer and put some kind of a dent in his overall points. Again, Holtzer came into this race 355 markers in P number 1 as far as the standings go. Brendan Book 323, again 32 points behind Holtzer. Jordan Bain sitting at 299, 56 points behind Holtzer, but Bain not in the field. I think Bain might have hung up his filter time helmet. Not 100% sure. I'll have to at some point reach out to him and see if he is actually done. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the schedule for this series. So next week, they're going to be heading to Kansas for 110 laps, March 23rd. As always, all races right around 9 o'clock Eastern. So they got Kansas, and then they've got Thunder Valley, Bristol Motor Speedway to wrap up race 3 in round number 1 of these playoffs. And then it'll be Chicagoland, Richmond, and Charlotte before the championship race at Phoenix International Raceway for 160 laps on April the 27th. Let's catch back up and get back going through one more time. Definitely want to thank everybody that's out there in chat right now. It is absolutely appreciated. Again, Swats, thank you very much. Good to see you. Shad, again, thank you very much for the sub. And again, big hello to old Eric Killshot. Good to see you with the follow, as well as MLAJ17 and B Rupert 1980. As you see all these cars up against that wall going down in the backstretch. Elliot Henderson still your leader. Holtzer by just a mere 4 seconds behind that 37. Elliot Henderson with clear control of this race, but I don't think he's caught on that the 17 and others, as you see, nobody back there. I don't think he's caught on that the 17 and others are clutching it all the way through. Let's go back to Holtzer as you look down. Oh, looks like we might have a little bit of an issue back here, including the 10 of Hunter Brittle. Slides, locks up that Camaro. No contact, but we do have caution number 2. Hold on to it, Hunter. Don't come back on track. There you go. Let's go back if we can and see if we can find out exactly what happened with the 10. Looks like he just got a little loose and tried to save it. But luckily for him, as you see the 5 of Brendan Book go flying on by on the inside, he didn't hit that outside wall, didn't hit the inside wall, saved any kind of damage. His only issue is he will now be in the back of the field. Everybody, I can promise you, everybody from Elliot Henderson, Holtzer, and Book on back, they will come on down pit road, grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, and get ready for the next 70 laps. There is that 37. Holtzer right there with him. So Holtzer able to catch on up. And that whole gap that the 37 built up has disappeared in the blink of an eye. Again, this is only caution number 2, working lap number 41. Nobody stayed out right now. Everybody was due on tires. They needed it. You just saw the 10 of Hunter Brittle get wicked loose coming off the corner. Might have tried a little too much throttle, a little too quick. These cars do notoriously get loose, in the later run. Looks like the 17 of Holtzer is going to be able to beat the 37 of Henderson off of pit road. It's going to be Brendan Book P3, Maxwell Castro P4, Tyler Dohar moving up a few spots, now a total of 9 since qualifying. Justin Mons in P number 6, John Honeycutt 7th, Jordan McGraw, J-Mac in P number 8, Michael Allard in P9, and Jose Ruiz, he was 15th just a couple laps ago, maybe 6-7 laps ago, now sitting in P number 10, only 2 spots behind where he qualified. But the biggest mover right now is going to be the 12 of Maxwell Castro, up 12 spots since qualifying. So he's going to go ahead and restart P number 4 on that outside lane. He'll be behind the 37, and he's seen just how strong that 37 was, or is. If he can stay up there with him, he might actually just have a shot to get on up. He had a great finish last week. Let's see if he can back it up. Let's see, lights on the pace car are still up. I wonder if we've got enough time to maybe try to grab somebody. Let's take a look here. Come on back up to Holtzer. Lights on the pace car are still on, so it looks like we might actually have a little bit of time here. Elliot Henderson, it is repeat up in the booth, buddy. You got a copy.
What's going on, man?
I tell you, buddy, you were absolutely driving away, and then the 10 of Hunter Brittle got a little loose and wound up looping it around all on his own. There was no contact, no nothing. He was able to save it. You had a great 4-second gap back to the 17. I see the lights on the pace car are out, so I'm not going to hold you long. Do you think you got what it takes now to get back up there, grab that lead, and finish strong?
Maybe Holtzer was sandbagging. We'll find out. And Brendan and Maxwell weren't up here, so we'll have to see what these new guys do. But that run felt really good. I wasn't really pushing super hard throughout the run, so if we can just do it again, if we can just get out to a nice little lead and see how the fuel happens here, because I think we're gonna be a little bit short. We'll see how this works out. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, buddy, I absolutely I wish you a lot of luck. You got some very tough competition around you. You got the 17 of Holtzer to your inside. You got Brendan Book behind him, and you got the 27 of Maxwell Castro. Who is your biggest ally in this top 4?
None of them right now.
There you go. Well, buddy, I'll go ahead and get you back with your Dark Horse Motorsports teammates. Good luck, sir.
Thanks.
You got it.
Green.
That was Elliot Henderson, part of Dark Horse Motorsports. He's hard on the throttle, getting back to the outside of the 17. Looks like he was able to get on the loud pedal at the same time as the 5 and the 17. He doesn't have any teammates up here with him. He's just got to hold strong. We saw the 17, the 77, and I believe might have been one other really doing all they could in order to save just a little bit of fuel. I gotta wonder now if the 10 car spinning out ruin their strategy, or will the 17, the 77, and company be able to get back up there? The 37 and the 9 were both able to pass Holtzer under green flag earlier. It really looked like the 37 was rolling the center and getting back on the throttle faster than the 17 as they come side by side down the backstretch. 37 with that high side momentum, really keep trying to challenge. Here he is back. You can see him gaining time. Holtzer's going to go ahead and slide on up in front of that 37. Try to pack as much dirty air on the front of that Camaro as he can. The 5 and the 27 just sitting back here, watching this all go on, wondering how it's going to play out. Tyler Dohar now up to P number 5. Justin Mond, John Honeycutt, Michael Allard, Hunter Brittle, who just spun, and Tom Flickcroft. That's going to round out your top 10. These guys absolutely doing an amazing job. And it's gonna be a great battle once they're all able to wind down these laps. We are only 8 laps away from halfway, running lap 47 right now of 110, and there's no let up as you see him 3 wide back there for about P number, what was that, P8 maybe, give or take. Let's see if we can't get a better shot of what's going on here. You see the 61, you see the 41, you see the 8, the 10, the 50. Let's take it back a couple spots. Well, that 3 wide issue is now gone. They kind of broke that up in a hurry. No sense in doing that if you don't have to. Looking at that 17 really actually makes me want to go ahead and just crack a raise. In fact, you know what? How's that sound? There we go. This is going to be a white peach raise. Going over to raise.com/free. And with promo code REPEAT1975, you can go ahead and grab yourself a free 4-pack with some of their powders, whether it's the Hyper Sleep or their workout mix or whatever. That actually just spilt all over my pants. When I cracked that top, it kind of spilled out a little bit on me, but that's all right. 37 still challenging very hard. He hasn't been able to quite make that pass yet, as now he's going to go ahead and try to go down low. Maxwell Castro right now back there in P number 3. Again, up 13 spots since qualifying. 37 really thought about trying to get to that left rear of the 17, maybe try a little side drafting, see if he couldn't pull that 17 back. There he is one more time, and as these tires start to come in, he's going to be able to get back in the throttle a little bit sooner, and that is exactly what we just saw there. Holtzer now with the 37, unable to hold that spot. Let's see if he can go ahead and slide on up. So far, not there. Can he do it? Can he do it? Can he get in the throttle? Power move, slide job, 37, and with the crossover, here comes Holtzer back to the inside. Great example of throttle control by both of these guys. And 37, he's right back where he was when he was able to take the lead from Holtzer, both him and the 9. Since then, the 9 has faded back a little bit, but these guys absolutely putting on one hell of a show for P number 1. So we saw the 37 really be able to slide on up in front of the 17 off the corner. Now the 17, he's got that low side. 37, he's been really rolling that center well. It doesn't look like the 17 is going to be able to complete that slide job. 37 really pushing hard on that throttle. Coming off the corner, they are going to stay side by side. 27 of Maxwell Castro, Brendan Book right behind him. Tyler Dohar back here in P number 5. Justin Mons in P6 with Michael Allard, Hunter Brittle, John Honeycutt, and Tom Flickcroft rounding out your top 10. Few of those guys are single file. These guys up for the point, though. They have been absolutely after it. Let's go back here a little bit further in the back. Just saw a little bit of side-by-side racing with these guys. Let's see if I can't find out exactly who that was. It looks like since then they've gone ahead and settled it amongst themselves. But up front, 37 now, down low, 17. Up high, he's going to try to conserve just a little bit, have a great run off. 37 will now have the sole possession of the lead. No immediate threat from the 17. Great job by the 37. The 27 of Castro's, again, still up 13 spots. He's just watching this battle. Who does he decide to go with? Does he see the line that the 37's running and try to duplicate that and get on by the 17 as well? Does the 17 stay up high where he was at the other end of the track to do the opposite of what the 37's doing? Does Brendan Book in the 5 learn from either of these guys? Tyler Dohar right now having a good run sitting here in P number 5. Whew, what a battle by all. Let's actually hop on board here with Holtzer and jump in the cockpit with him, and we're gonna get loud with this number 17. Y'all go ahead and absolutely turn this up. I tell you what, a dance between those two, back and forth, side to side, crossover, slide job. Man, these guys absolutely putting on an amazing show. That all right there is clip worthy any time of the race. And what an amazing job. Let's kind of take us through the field, look around a little bit. Working lap number 61 of 110. So just under 50 laps remaining. We're going to go ahead and widen this out just a little bit. So again, James Holtzer now in the lead. 37 of Elliot Henderson has no let up in him whatsoever. Really being able to get on the throttle quicker than Holtzer. Again, all over the back bumper, right up his trumpet. As our buddy Rick James would like to say, the 5 of Brendan Book, he just had a battle with the 27 of Maxwell Castro, putting him back one spot. Tyler Dohar still sitting right now in P number 5. Justin Mons in this number 41 McConey Setup Shops Gamer Advantage Chevy Camaro. He's only 2 spots back from where he qualified, but after that early issue, he's really had to fight back hard to get back where he is. Hunter Brittle, who got loose and brought out that most recent caution, up to P number 7. Michael Allard sitting P number 8 in that 61 Fox machine. John Honeycutt in this Alpine Stars number 50 Camaro Team FTR. And then Jose Ruiz in this number 23. He also got kind of collected a little bit in that very first caution. Right now sitting in P number 10 to go through the rest of the field. It's going to be Tom Flitcroft in the 8 sitting P11. P12 in that number 34, Jordan McGraw. Jacob Kerr in that number 11 Toyota back in P number 13. Cody Kalinka in this Wrangler number 9 Camaro sitting P14. Sean Blanchard all the way back here in this number 91, the Swag.biz Camaro. And then Toll Owen sitting P16, the sole machine out of tonight's race. So now working lap 65. Look at that. 4 laps went by in the blink of an eye. Holtzer now leading 37 of Elliot Henderson sitting P2. Brendan Book P3. All guys right there were single file as they go double wide, trying to get back in. It looks like it's 17. He's going to go ahead and tag that wall just a little bit. That's going to break his momentum. Allow for the 37 to come on up, slide in front. And that also brought the 5 of Brendan Book, the guy that is sitting P2 in points right now by about 23 spots, right to the inside door of that 17. 17 still high, wide, and handsome. I'm guessing he didn't get a whole lot of damage from that scrape with the outside wall. Didn't have any fear going back up there again. He's going to go ahead and drop in front of the 5. Let's actually go ahead and see if we can't grab a shot of that right front for the 17 right now. And no issue on the front. Let's take a look at the rear. No, nothing there. So I'm going to guess maybe he didn't hit it, but got dangerously close and felt he had to get out of the gas. That is absolutely always a possibility. Whoop, something. Must have got an update. My bad. All right, let's go back here. You hear like that little tink, 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 tink. It makes it sound like he's scraping up against the wall, but he's really not. And he's keeping tabs with the 37. He's pretty much committed to that high line. While you see the 5 of Brendan Book, he's committed to the low. There in the back, you see Maxwell Castro up high, and the 77 of Tyler Dohar down low. Big run for the 17. These guys are going to go ahead and try to take this double wide one more time. Let's go ahead and widen this out. Get off these corners here. There you go. 17 looked like he might have been a little squirrely getting back in the throttle. really stuck to that inside. We saw the 37 pull a slide job earlier. Will the 17 try to be able to do that? He's going to slide on up. Is he clear? Oh, by about the width of a piece of paper. Able to go ahead and get that done. 37, he's going to go ahead and try to pull that crossover down low underneath the 17. Yellow flags out. It looks like this is going to have something to do with the 8 of Tom Flitcroft. So let's go ahead and flip up a camera view and see if we can't find out what happened to old Tom Flitty somewhere in the back. You see him back there just in that throttle. And, oh, is he going to be able to save it? Yes, he was. Nobody hit him. And he didn't, that's actually a really tough spot to go ahead and lose it. Because right there, if you come down track with any more speed, you could end up in the barrels or in the wall right there. So great job locking it down by Tom, not hitting anything. And if you think about it, this is about the same amount of green flag laps that we saw earlier when we watched the 10 of Hunter Brittle lose it and spin out. And just like Hunter, nobody collected the 8, and the 8 didn't collect the wall or anybody else either. So great job by both of them one more time by the 8 and the 10. Let's go ahead and bring us back live. So these guys, they're going to go ahead and reset, and they're going to go after this one more time. James Holtzer is going to go ahead and lead everybody down pit road. No doubt everybody's going to come in. Nobody's even going to try faking. Everybody's going to grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods. Go ahead and fill it up with that Sunoco E15 and come on back out. Again, big congratulations to the 8 for being able to save that and not collect another car, but most of all, not collect the wall. All right, I'm almost wondering, we saw the 61 come on back out. Was that just a 2-tire change? It'll be interesting to know. And then obviously the 17 Holtzer, 37 of Elliot Henderson, Brendan Book right behind them. So first, second, and third that came in under that yellow flag, they're going to come out second, third, and fourth. Micah Allard up here behind the pace car. He is your new leader. And if I had the ability to actually go ahead and get a hold of Micah, I would. But unfortunately, he is not able to be. Nope, there he is. So he must have missed his pit stop. So that's going to go ahead and relegate the lead back to the 17 of Holtzer. Elliot Henderson, P2. Brendan Book, P3. Justin Mons will be P4. And we do actually have the ability to go ahead and pull Justin up to the booth. Again, he's got that Maconi setup shop on the hood and gamer advantage to the corner panels. The lights on the pace car are out, so we won't actually bring Mons up right now. Wouldn't have enough time to go ahead and actually get have a clear conversation with him. Again, as you see, the lights on the pace car are out. Michael Allard will have enough time to do what he needs to do on pit road and catch up to the back end of the field. So now these two guys, these two heavyweights that have been fighting it out since the initial green flag, are starting 1-2 one more time with the 5 of Brendan Book, new player to the mix, the 41 of Justin Mons, and Hunter Brittle. After that spin earlier and also being collected in that first lap chaos, sitting P number 5. Tyler Dohar 6th, 50 of John Honeycutt, 23 of Jose, 27 of Maxwell Castro, and we are back. Green flag, 17 and 37, hard on that throttle, very quick. 5 was able to keep right there with him, no give whatsoever. Next time around, we'll be working at lap number 75 of 110. So 35 mere laps remaining, and I didn't actually do the math, but it seems like that's how far they've been going before they've been getting wrecking loose, like what you saw with the 10. But fortunately, he didn't collect anybody. And then this most recent caution with the 8 car of Tom Flitcroft when he spun out by himself. So. They didn't make any contact with anybody, didn't make contact with any wall, so they're able to just keep on keeping on. But right now, I tell you what, these first 3 rows, side by side, 37 and 17 switching positions. The 5 of Brendan Book and Justin Mons, they've switched positions. The 41 was to the outside, the 5 was to the inside. 77 and the 10 of Hunter Brittle, they have also switched spots, now single file. A little bit further in the back, just saw Cody Kalinka and one more playing a little bit of peekaboo with each other's mirror. Great job by Cody to not come on back up and collect that 91. You see that swag.biz Camaro very, very loose, just wagging that back end all the way through that corner. Way to hold on to it, keep it going. I'm sure the 11 of Jacob Kerr is thanking him as well, not wrecking and possibly collecting that number 11. Back up front, the 17 to 37, they continue to duel it out. 41 of Justin Mons, he's got a strong piece week in and week out, right now sitting P3. But how about Tyler Dohar, up 10 spots from where he qualified? He was playing a little bit of fuel strategy earlier. Nobody else had come down pit road, so everything that he's done on speed with maybe a little bit of strategy mixed in, but not really. That filter time number 77 Camaro looking pretty sharp, and he's looking pretty stable riding behind this 41. Again, 37 and 17 continue to battle it out. These guys are going to be able to go back and watch an entire race of them too, because this is really where all the action seems to be. 37 is going to try to get up high one more time. A little bit of momentum at the line. That still would have been the 17's lap. I am absolutely starting to get a little parched. Grab another sip of my White Peach Raise Energy. And this 17 Raise Energy machine for James Holtzer, week in and week out, there is no quit in his Camaro whatsoever. But now 37, he might have had a little bit of help there earlier. He mentioned earlier that he didn't have any help there. Well, guess what? Now he does. He has a fellow Dark Horse teammate right in his back bumper. 37-41, both right there. So now we'll have to see, since the 37 has some help, will he be able to not only clear the 17 of Holtzer, but be able to pull away? 41 has had every single opportunity over these last couple of laps to go ahead and pull on down behind the 17, but he will not leave his wingman. Side by side, all the way through the corners. See the 37 able to stab that accelerator before the 17. That was going through turns 1 and 2. 17 coming on up, trying to grab a little bit of a side draft. 41 had to really watch what happened with the 17's right rear, not to grab a piece of it. And as he pulled back on the 41 and the 37, that gave the 17 the clear shot to the lead right there. Holtzer back to P1. What a show these guys are putting on between themselves. No complaints out of this broadcaster whatsoever. Single file down the backstretch, 4 cars at least deep. Again, the 17, 37, 41 of Justin Mon, 77 of Dohar, now up to P number 4 with the 5 of Brendan Book right in tow. 27 of Maxwell Castro, and the 10 car back here of Hunter Brittle just pulling into view. And then a little bit of a gap back to the 50 of John Honeycutt. Honeycutt's got the 34 rather, of Jordan McGraw right there with him. Both of these guys very familiar with each other. They run during the Tuesday night showdown races that either Honeycutt will put on or Eliza Bethel, otherwise known as Frozen Toes, will put on. So, great job by those guys. Let's go ahead and check in one more time with our leader. Right now, still no change. Holtzer able to dump all kinds of dirty air on the front of that 37. 37 has had to adjust his line. Also doesn't have any immediate help from his teammate in that Dark Horse Motors number 41. With these guys all spread out, might actually be a good time to go through the field and actually reintroduce everybody one more time. We'll go on up here and start with driver in P1. A man that is back in a very, very familiar place. 7 wins on the season and the overall points lead as well. Again, sitting 355 points. Only, what did I say earlier? 32 points ahead of Brendan Book in P2, and Jordan Bain sitting back there in P3. But again, I think Jordan Bain might have hung up his eSpark helmet. So let's go ahead. Here we are with James Holtzer. Let's go ahead and pull up everything we know about old Mr. Holtzer and go from there. Nothing doing except that he's just an eSpark Xfinity Series driver. How about Elliot Henderson sitting right back here in P number 2 out of Pittsburgh, PA. Full-time All-America ARCA Series champion. There you go. Justin Mont in P number 3 out of Glen St. Mary, Florida. Tyler Dohar, owner, operator, and main admin for the Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series, hydrated by our buddies at B-Water and the swag.biz. Then back to Brendan Book out of Sterling Heights, Michigan. Actually got a chance to meet him at Atlanta several years back. Maxwell Castro, driver number 27. Then Hunter Brittle right behind him. And John Honeycutt, I know this guy, out of Orlando, Florida. Got a chance to meet him at Daytona last August for the summer race. One hell of a guy. Jordan McGraw, J-Mac, Bridgeport, Texas. Jose Ruiz out of the great state of California. The man has a knack for working on and restoring cars. He's actually in the process right now of restoring an old Mustang. So he not only gets down and dirty here on the track, but he gets down and dirty rebuilding classic cars as well. Tom Flitcroft, a little bit further back, sitting P11 right now. Cody Kalinka, old Sledgehammer. He's actually the guy that got me wrapped up or interested in broadcasting. He actually broadcasted or streamed his race from Sonoma when he ran with N&R on the console side. I followed him along, and man, I tell you what, he was so aggressive. I loved it, and it's what got me introduced to HD Motorsports, old Vroom Vroom Vroman on Twitch, otherwise known as Nick Vroman here on iRacing. Jacob Kerr sitting back here in this number 11 out of Stillwell, Kansas. There you see him with a picture of Ty Dillon. I also got to meet Ty Dillon at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Sean Blanchard, Lima, Ohio in this number 91 swag.biz Chevy Camaro. Micah Ollard a little bit further back. And then again, the one and only Toll Owen, unfortunately out of the race. So that's going through the field. Let's go ahead and catch back up with our leader, James Holtzer. Go ahead and clear this info. Let's go ahead and bring back our tower and see where we stand. All right, so 19 laps to go. Holtzer with a 4/10 lead, almost 5/10 as he almost half second now as he comes off of the corner going down the backstretch. The 37 of Elliot Henderson has not let up all night long. And how about Tyler Dohar moving up into the third position as the 41 of Justin Mons and the 5 of Brendan Book battle it out right behind him. And then there comes the 27 of Maxwell Castro. He's going to give a little bit of a love shot to the back bumper of that target number 5. All 3 cars on the low line trying to figure out how to get on back by the 77. Tyler Dohar is great not only at saving fuel, but also great at saving tire. So no doubt that's why he's in the position he's in and doing a phenomenal job. You can't take it away from him. He does take care of his equipment every single week as long as he doesn't get wrapped up in somebody else's issue. Looks like both the 41 and the 27, they're going to be able to go ahead and push on by as you saw it live there. The only one that wasn't able to clear the 77 was the 5 of Brendan Book. But Tyler Dohar, he's not going to let up either. He's sitting pretty good in points. This could be an even better point night for him if he can get back up. But still, your leader, James Holtzer, Elliot Henderson, Justin Mons, Maxwell Castro, and Tyler Dohar, now sitting P number 5. Watch that 41 getting a little loose. 27 had to cut it under as well and make sure that he didn't wash up into that 41. That might give the 77 just a little bit more momentum since they had to lift. If they weren't lifting, they were absolutely holding that thing to the right to not have to lift so much. But now you see the 77 all over the back end of that 27. 27, he's going to go ahead and try to dive underneath the 41 of Justin Mons. See if he can go ahead and clear him. But you see the 41 getting back on the gas. You see him holding that wheel to the right. If you're looking in his windshield, looking back at him, hell of a job by driver 41. So the 27 and the 41 were both able to clear the 77 of Dohar. Dohar now able to clear and get on back by the 41. He wants that third spot back. He wants the spot that Maxwell Castro is going to be in. It's been a little bit since Tyler Dohar has been able to come up to the booth for post-race interviews. Right now, only one spot out. Holtzer, Henderson, and Castro hold your top 3 with 13 laps to go. Look at this, coming back up to it, 37. He was able to gain back that half a second advantage that the 17 had on him. This has really been where the fight has been all night long. And it looks like these guys are not done. They're still gonna try to settle it amongst themselves. 37's gonna go ahead and look down low. 17's gonna go high. We saw the 37 pull a couple of slide jobs, and by now the tires are ready to go. There you see the 61 on the bottom of your screen just coming back up on track. 17 had the momentum on the high side, able to clear the 37. 37, he's gonna go ahead and try that middle line. We've seen him gain time each and every time he's gone to that outside. Will he now count on the 61 to give him a little bit of a shot, maybe help him clear this 17? Down low one more time goes the 37. 3 wide, 61 of Michael Allard down low. 37, he's going to have to go ahead and clear on up and just get back in the draft of the 17. And even though Michael's got more than likely new tires, that's he hasn't cleared the 37 just yet. Here we go. Now the 61's got a little bit more momentum. Getting back to the back bumper of the 17. He's not going to help the leader. He's going to go ahead and pull to the inside. But at the same point, this is not helping the 37. 37's getting all kinds of dirty air dumped on the hood of his Camaro. 61 of Michael Allard now has cleared both drivers, and we're right back to about the same gap we had earlier. Go ahead and open this up. Let's go ahead and take a blimp view of this battle, and we'll also check in with Tyler Dohar and the battle back here between him, the 5, the 41, and company. John Honeycutt right now sitting in P number 7, up 3 spots from where he started. Again, though, the biggest mover all night long has been the 27 of Maxwell Castro. And again, he had a great week last week. I'm trying to remember in post-race interviews, was it last week or the week before, where he said he felt pretty good about Homestead. So we'll have to see. But right now, sitting pretty. Tyler Dohar a bit behind him, but he's got Brendan Book and the 41 close in tow. If these guys can team up, they might be able to catch the 27. I don't think there's any catching these two, though. The 17 and 37 have been in a class all their own all night long on restarts and in the long run as well. But, who's to say, whether the 41 would be able to get on up here and battle with them if he had the clean air, if he didn't have to battle the 5, the 27, and the 77. Who's to say he couldn't be up here? As they come across the line right there, 6 lowly laps remaining here at Homestead, Miami for this Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series, hydrated by our buddies at B-Water. You can bet your bottom dollar that every single one of these guys has had to take a sip on something. If not, B-Water, definitely a raise for the 17, maybe a B-Water for the 37 in its EHG Designs Camaro. 37 again trying to look to the inside. It looks like for a second there he might have had the front right fender up underneath the 17, but nothing doing there. Throwing it into the corner, 17 up high, able to play the throttle game. 37 down low, back in the throttle very quick, but the 17, again, he's going to be able to take that speed and really accelerate off the corner. 37's going to have to figure out a way to where he can pull one of the slide jobs that we saw earlier to get on back by the 17. Once he got by the 17 earlier, even though the 17 was saving a little bit of gas, he was able to pull away. And at the same time, able to keep some other guys behind him that were not really off the throttle. So Holtzer, he knows how to get it done. It's just really a matter of whether this 37 can get into clean air in these final 4 laps. Looking back at P number 3, Maxwell Castro in that number 27. Looking, I tell you, he's looking pretty good in this next level Camaro. He's actually rocking, as I've mentioned earlier many times this season, he's rocking a scheme for the actual rig that I've got, the FGT. You can either set it up in normal, racing seat mode, or you can rock it back like a GT and almost sit like they said Dale Earnhardt sat inside his car when it came to him racing. He'd sit really, really low. If you watch the Dale Jr. Down Low, one of the episodes from about a year ago, they talked about the old Nova that they found of Dale Sr.'s. where, you know, he would take a hammer and really pound into the floorboard, knocking the floorboard lower and lower, because that's how the Intimidator liked to sit. It's almost kind of like the way that you can rock the seat back in this next level FGT seat. 27 looks like he might be getting a little squirrely coming off of the corner. You see the 77 of Tyler Dohar now just about a second and a half back off of Maxwell Castro. But for the remainder of the race, the battle is clearly between these two. The 17 of Holtzer, he continues to have the momentum on the high side. White flag lap for this Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series. B-Water Race from Homestead. Can he slide on up? No, he's not going to be able to. Had a chance there. He's got to get on the right rear or on the left rear of that 17 to try to pull him back. Nothing doing there. One more shot, throwing it in, getting underneath him. There's going to be contact. 37-17. 37 now takes sole possession of the lead, and he will come to the stripe if he doesn't give it up and allow either Holtzer or the 27 to take the win. What are we looking at? Nope, it's going to be Holtzer. I tell you what, mad props to Elliot Henderson for giving that win away. He did not want to get into the side of the 17. He wanted to throw it in there, but did not want to take that win in any kind of a dirty way. Congratulations to the 37. Integrity is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. And the 37, you know, really exhibiting that in clear fashion. Holtzer going to go ahead and just burn it down here in this Raise Energy Camaro for his 8th time. His 8th time. It would have been interesting to see what would have happened as you see Dohar come on in and give a congratulatory shot to the driver's side door of that 17. 8 wins now on the season for Holtzer. Honeycutt's going to come in P number 2. Tyler Dohar, P3. All right, ladies and gents, that is going to do it for the on-track action. In just a moment, we will have our top 3 live in the booth. Please stick right there. Don't nobody go nowhere, as they say. And we will be right back. I absolutely promise. All right, ladies and gents, we are back, and we've got our top three. So even after those, last lap, that last lap action, it looks like Elliot Henderson is still going to be able to come on home in P number 3. Elliot, I tell you what, I pulled you aside real quick just before you made your way on up to the green room. I am extremely proud of the way that you finished that race. You and Holtzer, I tell you, in the middle of that race, swapping positions, swapping slide jobs, swapping, those little draws, those little antics that y'all were doing back and forth was absolutely phenomenal. The rest of the race seemed a little drawn out. What do you think would have happened if you and the 17 were able to clear each other or cleanly get through those last couple of turns? What do you think that turnout would have been, my friend?
I don't know that you would have gotten anything different than what we ended up with. I just wasn't going to win a race like that. I mean, it was such a fun battle with Holtzer the whole time. I almost thought I did accidentally beat him when I, locked up the brakes to give him that win there. But, I didn't give him anything. He drove an incredible race, and in my head after the first run, I'm like, wow, we got a piece tonight. We're going to do real well. We're going to clean up tonight. And Holtzer just figured it out through the race and was able to make that lane work all the way through. So, he was able to swap lanes, and I was kind of dedicated to what I was on. So it made it challenging for me. I think I should have tried to figure out if I could get the top to work or anything, because it may have given me a better advantage. But I think what we ended up with is what you would have gotten regardless of how that whole situation played out. I think you saw a great battle, though.
Absolutely, and like I told you before, we went back live, man. That is absolutely racing with integrity, and thank you very much for one hell of a show, sir.
Yeah, I don't win races like that. I thought he was going to give me a lane, and even if I had a lane, my best bet was to try and door him, which probably would have led to the same situation. So there wasn't really an opportunity. I tried a slide job in 1 and 2 the last 2 laps, and I should have just parked the bus on him with 2 to go and let him run in the back of me and see what would have happened. But, I wanted to keep it clean and see what I could do. I thought I generally had the speed to get around him, but he saved enough tire. I think, clean air is such an advantage here. Yep. He was able to utilize that and make it work for him. So just a ton of fun, man, though. This is always a great track. Looking forward to these playoffs. Glad to have run up front for a vast majority of this, and we'll see where this takes us in the playoffs.
Well, there was 110 laps here at Homestead. Next week is 110 laps at Kansas. Looking forward to that track. Any special attention you'll have to spend, or is that one of the common, more race tracks that you feel pretty comfortable with?
It's a track. I don't know that I feel super confident at, any track. This was probably my best shot at a win tonight. I really like Homestead, but, Auto Club it presents its challenges. I know I'm fast there, but I feel like it's really easy to take out your right front tire and just kind of clean yourself out of it. And it's very easy to smack the wall. So, Holtzer will be fast there. I'm sure Book and all these guys will be fast too. We'll just have to see who cleans up the first round. And, I'm really looking forward to tracks like Bristol and Richmond and Charlotte and getting a little bit deeper into the schedule. But Auto Club's a good one to start. Kansas will be a slideshow city, and then Bristol will probably be, the things Kansas, honestly, just a bunch of slide jobs.
You're right. I was kind of getting a week ahead of myself, wasn't I? Talking about Kansas. Yeah, Auto Club will be round 1, race 1 of the playoffs. Did not start tonight. So, all right, man. Any quick shout outs to your EHG sponsors or anybody else?
Yeah, Elliot Henderson Graphics, my own graphics company. We design cars and do a lot of iRacing stuff. I actually haven't had the website up in a while, but working on getting that done this year. So we've had a brand on the car and haven't had anything to actually send you to. So hopefully we'll fix that before the end of the season here. And, special shout out to the Dark Horse guys that I've been racing with throughout this season. It's been a ton of fun. A lot of them, I think, have kind of, moved away from this series. But, Justin Mons, Hunter Brittle, Maxwell Castro, Tal Owen, and I forget who else is all in there, but a great group of guys. Been a ton of fun, and we'll see how it goes at Auto Club next week.
Well, thank you again for a great show, and good luck next week if I don't get a chance to talk to you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You got it. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull in the one and only Max Boost again. Man, Maxwell Castro, one hell of a job tonight in that number 27. You really worked your way through the field. You had the at one point you had the most amount of position gained throughout the race. Phenomenal job. Walk us through, and what gave you the confidence to come through the field like that?
Yeah, this was another deal where I had to buy the track today and had about 20 minutes of practice. So I purposely started in the back just so I can race with everybody and see what everyone's doing and then just kind of learn. But the confidence actually came from Elliot Henderson. He kind of told me what he was doing and how he was running the track. And I was really, surprised he was able to share those helpful tips because, man, he was on rails. And it helped me a ton. So I was able to work my way up, courtesy to him, honestly. So a really good race, really fun, amazing battle for the lead. Wish I could have been a part of it, but it was just awesome to be in the top 5 watching it.
Well, man, like I was just asking, the 37 about. Next week, we're moving on to Auto Club. Very, very fast, very bumpy, 2 mile. Might as well call it a super speedway because it is so draft dependent. Any outlook for next week and the first race in the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm actually going to practice probably a couple days beforehand and leading up to it, seeing how it is the playoffs. I do love that track. It's a home track. And I have a league race win there, so I'm hoping to be close to Holtzer and whoever else is going to be running in the top 3, top 4, and make good points. But yeah, it's going to be a blast of a race.
Well, good job on Elliot Henderson for giving you some keys to the race. Any quick shout-outs for you, buddy?
Of course, shout out to you guys. I always have to shout y'all out. The streams are a blast to watch, and I highly appreciate that. And then I'll go ahead and do the sponsor plug and shout out Next Level Racing. I'm an ambassador for their program, and I love their seats. And if y'all are into sim racing, you should go give them a shot.
That's actually, in the closing laps, I was talking very much about the Next Level rig that I race in, the FGT series, where you can either have the seat up as a normal driver seat, or you can rock it back like a GT car almost and drive almost the way the late great Dale Earnhardt did, where you're kind of sitting back in a cradle. So very, very big supporter of their equipment as well, and couldn't be happier with my purchase. So I'm right there with you, Max.
Heck yeah, man. Appreciate you. Y'all have a great night.
You as well. Congratulations one more time. All right, we're going to slide the one and only now, Jim Holtzer. Mr. Holtzer, you putting this Raise Energy number 17 Camaro in victory lane now for the 8th concrete time here at Homestead, Miami. The points coming into tonight's race, you were sitting a clear 355, 32 points over Brendan Book, and 56 rather, over Jordan Bain. I mentioned a couple times, I think Jordan Bain might have hung up his filter time, eSpark helmet, but man, you obviously have not hung that helmet up. You've been on a tear since week number 1. Not many people, have gone to victory lane other than you. I mean, Jordan Bain did it at Daytona with some help from Nick Vroman, HD Motorsports, and then Nichols, I believe, put it in victory lane at the Glen, and then Brendan Book was able to walk away with one as well. But other than that, man, it has all been you. You've denied I don't know how many people that checkered flag. Walk us through this race and walk us through those closing laps with the 37, please.
Yeah, it was a really great race all the way around. With that early caution, I know most of us were in fuel save mode. I know Elliot was not. I was trying to make it a one-stop race from there, as it wasn't from the green, but with a couple laps we went there, and then the wreck, we were going to be able to probably stretch it. It was going to be really close, but it was going to work. But yeah, we were pretty good on short run speed. Struggled a little bit on long run speed, and that's partially probably because I was ripping the wall. Not ideal on the tires, but I was having an absolute blast doing it. It's really easy to step over the border. I did one time there, and I luckily got no damage. I just barely scraped the wall, but it stuck me to it. So was able to rebound back from that and pull a slider back on Elliot and get back to the lead. Clean air was just so crucial, and running the top, like I said, probably wasn't ideal on the tires, but I was having fun with it and was able to defend them off in the end. And I thought really with his move, it really wasn't that unsolicited when he bumped me. It just really whipped me around. It should have moved me up the track. So kudos to him for pulling over, because I don't know if I would have, because it was a kind of racing deal in the last lap, and he thought I was going to run the top like I did the last 6 laps, and I denied the bottom so he couldn't send it in there, and he did. But that's a lot of respect out to Elliot there for pulling over. He ran one heck of a race, and we had an awesome battle up front all night long.
A lot of side-by-side integrity between the both of you. I mean, there were multiple times where you could have given a shot to the bumper, could have given a shot to the left rear or right rear. I mean, slide job after slide job. It was absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, we were able to actually go on board with you and Tyler Dohar. Both of you were running the same strategy, cutting the motor, really letting it coast into the corners. And then, yeah, later on in the race, I did see, I really thought that you went on up and you tagged that wall, saw you get stuck, saw some people make up time on you. But then when I went over to take a look at your front and right rear, no damage whatsoever to your car at all. So
0 seconds.
That was absolutely interesting, I guess. But
lucky.
Yeah. I knew I saw you with my own eyes. Like, man, wait a minute. Maybe he just got very, very close and didn't actually make contact. But yeah, I kind of knew you did.
Thankful for the composite body.
Right. Man, I made a mistake, a couple times talking about this being the first race in the playoffs rather than next week when we head to Auto Club Speedway. I asked Elliot Henderson. I also asked Maxwell Castro what they thought about Auto Club next week. What's your view?
It's gonna run pretty similar to this week. I mean, you could run up at the wall. It's a dynamic track, just like it is here. You can kind of run wherever you want, but it's going to pay the price on the tires, depending on what line you run. So it's going to be all about being patient. Fresh air is not going to be as prevalent as it is here, just because you can move around. There's a lot more track, and there's 7 or 8 different lines you can run through Auto Club, through the corner. So you can find clean air if you have to, but it's going to be all about keeping that right side tires on, just kind of how it is every week on these ovals, and doing what you can to stay with a fighting chance. The pit strategy is going to be interesting because the fall off is so strong. You're going to be able to get out very far ahead if you short pit, because the fall off is going to be right around 2 seconds, or maybe a little bit over. But you just got to keep in mind, whenever you do short pit, it's going to really, really bite you in the end, just depending on how the strategy of the race goes, and if there are cautions when they come out is all going to be about when you pit, because the pit stop is going to be very crucial to your finishing position and how you can execute that.
Well, but if you continue on with the trend, I'm sure I'll speak with you again next week. But congratulations on your 8th concrete win of the season. It's going to pad your points lead a bit more over the 5, and obviously over Jordan Bain. It's probably actually going to go ahead and move Elliot Henderson up to P number 3 in points, depending on how the points work with how many cars were out here on track. The only guy that actually fell out of the race early, I believe, was Toll Owen, leaving 15 cars on the track. So it's going to be very iffy on points. But again, buddy, congratulations one more time.
Yeah, thank you. I'll give you a rundown here on the points since we're all in here.
All right, fair enough.
Everything resets for the playoffs. With playoff points and everything implemented, everything's already reset. So I will be starting with 1,024 points. Jordan Bain, he's been busy. Obviously, he just had a kid, so obviously that takes time over the sim. So said he's going to try to make it what he can, but he can't guarantee he makes it every race, which is completely understandable. If I had a kid, it'd probably be the same way.
Yep.
But he will have 1,006 points, and then Brendan Book will have 1,003, and then the following drivers that round out the rest of the 12 will have 1,000 points. It's Hunter Brittle, Maxwell Castro, Tyler Dohar, Thomas Flitcroft, Elliot Henderson, John Honeycutt, Jordan McGraw, Justin Mons, and Jose Ruiz being your last driver. Nathan Nicholson unfortunately did not make the playoffs because he did not have enough starts. He needed to have 8 starts in order to make it into the next round. He only had 7, so the win did not lock him in. So by virtue of that, Jose was able to take that final spot.
All right, I'll be sure to actually go ahead and tweet all that out at a later time. But Holtzer, congratulations one more time. It's a blast not only to watch you here in the eSpark series, but over at XM, and everywhere else that you've ran. I know that you're going to be part of the Shake and Bake series that'll be kicking off here next week with me behind the mic on Mondays, and I'll be joining Eliza Bethel on Thursday with their Indy series. Looking forward to watching and talking to you again here real soon.
Yeah, no problem. Just want to shout out, dude. Quick shout out. I know.
Go ahead, buddy. Go get them.
Yep. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys up in the booth as always for doing a good job, and obviously got to thank our title sponsors for the league with Be Water and Filter Time. Without those guys, we wouldn't have all the things that we have here, and greatly appreciate Blake and blank on here, Jordan Bain for getting Be Water over here. Greatly appreciate them. Got to thank primary sponsor in the car, Raise Energy. Holtz $sign for 15% off. Use my code. Just got to thank JP Designs for the paint schemes, $5 off. Or I'm sorry, scheme starting at just $5 on Facebook. And Laurel Auto Group, Next Level Motorsports, butt kicker.
And
thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys out there in chat want a sample pack of Raise Energy for your own at no cost, go on over to raiseenergy.com/free, and it'll say that it's going to cost you $11.95. Once you put in that Holtz $sign, it'll knock it down to $9.99. You pay that $9.99, and then you actually get an email for a $10 back coupon. So you actually make something. You get a great set of 4 cans, as well as their workout powder, their hyper sleep, some of their hydration packs. It's absolutely well worth it. So go on over again, raiseenergy.com/free, promo code Holtz $sign, and you absolutely enjoy. Holtzer, we will talk to you again very soon, sir.
Sounds good. Thanks, Pete.
You got it, buddy. All right, guys and gals, that is going to do it for me. Again, this was the Filter Time eSpark Xfinity Series, hydrated by our buddies at Be Water. Big congratulations one more time to Holtzer on his 8th win of the season. It's going to be a phenomenal playoffs. We got 7 more races to go before it's all said and done. I'll actually read off those races to you one more time, and next week's going to be Auto Club. After that's going to be Kansas and then Bristol. So Thunder Valley will wrap up round 1 of the playoffs. Round 2, we're going to go to Chicagoland, Richmond, Charlotte, and then everything is going to wrap up championship evening at Phoenix. 160 laps on April the 27th. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. Again, big thank you to Blake Koch and Dale Jr. from Filter Time. Go on over to filtertime.com, where you can set your schedule to have your filters delivered to you when you need them without any kind of a reminder. Again, Filter Time, breathe happy, as well as our buddies over at Be Water. greenconcepts.com. Go on over to bewaterbu.com. Place your order for either their stay line or a case of their water. And when you get to checkout, put in Be Fast, all in caps, for $5 off of your order. And then, of course, there is the swag.biz. Go on over, take a look around, see what might interest you. I am Repeat. Unfortunately, Byron Jones was not able to be here tonight. He will be back next week. Just had a little bit of an issue that he had to deal with this afternoon. We will see you next week again from Auto Club. Have a great night, everybody.